How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get all creative. It's time to get that imagination running wild. And it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Harold Foster. If you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is the creative, illustrative writer and phenomenon that did the wonderful Prince Valiant comics, if you're familiar with those. If not, let me guide your eye right over here to show you some great stills and sketches from him. He's got great layout, great story work. Really love those old comic colors. I think there's such depth in the simplicity of the amount of color palettes and color choices they got to use. That's really, really beautiful, and I love his work. It's some of that high fantasy, and it's very almost kind of vanilla-ish in that lots of people have probably iterated on styles like this, but I think he's one of the few that has really brought a high artistic standard to his work that makes it just so iconic. If you're not familiar with this, definitely do yourself a favor and go out and grab a book or a collection of Prince Valiant stuff, and I'm sure you'll be blown away. Great anatomy, great posing. I love the way that he lays out each and every frame as well. But anyways, I wanted to share a quote with you guys today here, and that was from an interview that he did back in, I think, the 70s or so. That anyone who's pleased with their work will stop right there, because if you're satisfied, then you don't have to improve. And I don't think I read that very well, so. But I think that the point of that is to never be pleased with your work or satisfied or content with your work, but always be striving to push forward. And if you get to a place where you start to be comfortable in the things that you're doing, or you start to be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty great, look at me, look at the wonderful work that I do, like, you're not going to continue to improve. You always should be able to find flaws or find things that you could push better, or ways that you could tell that story better, or lay out that shot better, and to never just be satisfied with where you're at. Now, does that mean that you should be disgruntled and grumpy about things all the time? No, not at all. You should be happy, and you should be positive, and you should be trying to put out positive energy into things. But I think when you look at your own work individually, when you're there at your drawing table, or you're there in front of the mic or anything, you should always be thinking, where's the next avenue that I can try out, or the next song that I can learn, or the next instrument that I can learn, or anything where you can push yourself to grow further. And sometimes it's even trying a different medium out and letting those examples or those skills inform your previous skill that you're really trying to get better. Sometimes it comes between mixing that kind of stuff, or even just going out. And a lot of people say that you can't really this might be a little controversial, but you can't really be an artist unless you've lived. So sometimes you don't have that frame set or that mindset. If all you do every day is just sit here and work on it, you have to have things to pull from that are going to be uniquely you. You have to go out there, you have to live, you have to interact with people and go places and see different things and study different things, and all that kind of stuff that's going to inform your work and make it stronger. And then to get to the second one, there's two quotes that I wanted to share from that interview with you guys, and I'm not sure if it was the 70s, that's thrown around, because he was more like a 40s person, but this was an interview that was towards his late in life. So anyways, it's a side point. But this other quote was, the human race has so much brains and so little intelligence. And I love this quote for a couple of reasons. First of all, so much brains, I'm pretty sure, is not the most accurate way to say that statement, but I love that it fits in, I think, with the quote as well. In that, and this is even more so true, I would say, in today's culture than it was even back when this quote was done. And that is that there is so many opportunities that you have as a person, and so much you can learn now, and so much you can study and grow, and everything, that just knowledge that's at your fingertips all the time. But it's about the intelligence of knowing how and when and why to use that stuff and knowing when to put it away. And I feel like if you look at our culture today, that there's just almost a zombification of people, even though we have so much all the time of ease of communication and access to knowledge that was never there before. But if you look at the way that we as a culture, and I'm included in this, I tend to not be as good as I could be, and so I think it's just about trying to find when is the right time to utilize and how is the right way to utilize all this information and all of these things that we have, and trying to mix that intelligence level, and that's, you know, a social, a cultural, artistic, communication, all of those things, they help inform our work, and it's a little more philosophical today. And I think I want to read that first quote one more time, just because I think that I didn't do it justice. So anyone who's pleased with their work will stop right there, because if you're satisfied, then you don't have to improve. And I think that really sums up that aspect of what he was talking about. And then don't be satisfied, don't quit, continue to push yourself further every day. And that being said, let's go ahead and get into our animation for today. A little more philosophical, I guess, starting out here today, so bear with me. But we're all growing together, and if you disagree with me, or if you think that I wasn't eloquent in that last part, or any sort of comments like that, definitely down in the comments below, let me know what you think about any of those subjects on those quotes, or if you love Harold Foster's work like I do, let me know as well. Now, this is a troll rig. It's a free rig from rigging101.com. I will link to it down in the description below, along with a couple links for more stuff on Harold Foster if you guys want to check him out as well, which I definitely suggest you do. If you're not familiar with this video series, what we'll be doing for the next anywhere from like half an hour to an hour, we give ourselves 48 frames. That's 2 seconds of animation. I go off and I find a different rig every day to share with you guys, so it's a free resource that you guys can use for as you're learning and growing in your work as well. And we kind of just see what we come up with. And a little bit of kind of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of instruction. Most of all, the whole goal of doing these videos is to help you guys feel like you're not alone as you're creating, that you do have a friend there that's struggling along that journey with you guys as well. And also so that maybe you can get inspired through these videos, whether it's, you know, you're way better than I am and then you're like, wow, well, he's very consistent, so maybe I should try and continue to produce work myself. Or if it's you're learning something and you're like, oh, that's a fun idea, let's go ahead and try that out. But either way, my goal is to try and help encourage and inspire you guys to continue to be creative as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into this rig. Now, it is an older rig. I believe this one was made with the intention of using Maya 5, which is a very old version of Maya. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for this video. I think we'll do a cycle for this one as well, kind of like we did yesterday, just because I feel like these rigs are a little bit shakier, even though I do like them a lot. But I feel like a cycle works well for them, because then we're not breaking too much here. I'm going to try and create an interesting pose to start off with here, so let's do a little bit of that, raise it up a little bit more, push it over. Let's raise the head up a little bit more. Like I said, it's a little bit janky in some of the stuff, so we got to be careful with how we use this rig. Seeing the where this says Trollfoot over here, which is what it is, just reminds me of Danny DeVito. If you're not familiar, look up Danny DeVito Trollfoot if you want to laugh for a little bit. It's got some funny stuff there. Just do that. We'll do a little bit of rotate wide, angle it out a little bit, and angle it out a little bit, and perhaps we'll move it back in a little bit more as well. What should we do for the arms here? Let's go ahead and bring arms down, shoulders down, arms out. Let's bring that shoulder down. That arm out. Start to look a little better. And one thing, I want to pull the feet back, I think, a little bit more here too. Just because I feel like they're very unbalanced steps. And it's interesting how he did the feet here by having almost that like kind of crook, almost like a canine style foot there. It's an interesting stylistic choice. Yeah, I feel like we need more of a hunch with this guy too. So let's see if we can't figure a way to get a good hunch out of him. Let's see if we can't do it this way then. How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a... Sorry about that. Let's go here. So... So we're getting a good starting pose to come with. Let's turn that off. Could I kind of hunch it back a little bit more? Hunch that over, bring it back a little bit more, bring it down, head over and down as well. Should get a nice bit of hunch there. That's starting to come a little better. I don't really like how deformed it is, so let's see if we can't get that a little bit better. Starting to be a little bit better. Let's pull the head back and up, and out a little bit more. Rotate it up, kind of give him kind of that werewolfy style pose here. Now we broke a lot of this to get in there, so I'm hoping that it doesn't affect things too much as we get in here. I wish there's kind of a middle controller here for the spine though, so we could get in there a little bit more. let's try to zero this thing out real quick and see what we're at there. We're better off leaving it where it was. Back down a little bit. Maybe it's just too broken. I'd be aware of doing that because that'll create problems down the road here. And second here. Okay, we want to turn our handles on here so we have those selected for the feet because that's how the feet are going to be moved here. And let's go ahead and tweak these arm poses a little bit more. Make them a little more menacing if we can. Out a little bit more. Out a little bit more. And let's see if we can't get a little bit of... I wish we could curl the fingers a little bit better. So we have more than just one controller throughout. So we have like a mid and a tip here. We have to work with what we got. And so bring the thumb over a little bit more. We got a little more wing curl here. And let's look at the other side here. Bring the thumb over here. There. Try and make a more menacing style troll pose. And let's go and rotate the hand inward a little bit. And out a little bit as well. And let's go ahead and take that middle and we'll pull that out a little bit more here. Do wish we could get a little bit more. I don't want to deform things too much. So that looks like that's probably what we're going to have to work with. And let's do a little bit of separation here with the spread there. Okay. I feel like that's fairly good. Let's go ahead and save our file now. And like I said, we are using Autodesk Maya 2014. And don't forget to save multiple versions and to save often whenever you're working here. Let's go and set our frame range from 0 to 48. And let's go ahead and grab everything here. Go to frame 0 and we'll set our first key. And let's work with the feet here. Let's grab that. Go to frame 12. Move forward. And then go to 24 and bring it back. 36. Okay, and let's look at the other side here. Set that. And back. A little bit further back. A little bit further back there. And middle mouse button. And take that one. We'll set a new key there. So okay. Now let's just go in and key those one more time here. I think the challenge for this one is going to be figuring out a good way to approach the hips and the chest, because those controllers are not set up in a way that I would say is very very polished way. So it might take some extra time to get those working right. And let's go ahead and get a passing position here. So let's go raise that up. And raise that up. And bring it down. And we'll grab the other one on the other side. And again, we already went through and keyed everything. So we're just going to get those up and downs. I'd like these steps to feel a little bit heavier too. So I'll definitely go in and tweak that so we get that feeling. But let's go and look at that now. See where we're at. Okay, and let's go ahead and grab the hips. We'll go up and then down, up again, and down again, up again, and down again, up, and then back to where we started again. Okay, and let's go ahead and do a little bit of side to side here. And side to side there. Just so we're shifting the weight to over the planted foot here. This is probably a little much, but we'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit. So let's look at our graph editor here. And first of all, let's check out the translate Y's. That's the up and down we originally did on the hips here. Let's go ahead and cut down the translates X here a bit more. Let's go look at that now. Okay, and let's do a little bit of rotate here. So let's grab the rotate Y to favor the front planted foot, and rotate Y, favor the front planted the other side. Again, over again, and back again, and I'm sure we can tone that down as well. And you see, like, once you kind of, if you've noticed, if you watched a couple of these videos along the way, once you have kind of a basic formula, it's just, I mean, walks, there's a lot of similar things throughout a walk. It's the little stuff that changes up that makes each and every walk different. And once you understand the basics, then it's breaking those rules or exaggerating those rules and stuff that really changes stuff up. And okay, sorry about that. Evidently, I'm gonna have to do some editing. Got a little crash there, so. Hopefully it'll be seamless and you guys won't notice, but just in case, if you want to know the funny story, while we get in here and start working on the chest, I had to sneeze, so I paused the recording, but what I ended up doing was stopping the recording, and that's no good, because now I'm going to have to re-go in and edit it, which is okay. But that means my workday is going to be a lot longer, and that's why you have to find something that you love to do. So that when those longer days happen, they aren't such a big deal at all. Like I said, sorry if there's any interruption there in the recording. But we're just going to approach the chest now and do something a little different there. So let's go and see that. Okay, and we'll do a little bit of rotate Y to favor, let's see, this side here, and that side there, so you get that little bit of twist, and then twist back, so let's go and see that now. janky, but we had to kind of take a little bit of a different approach with this chest just because of how it's set up here. Let's go ahead and go down there, and up here, down there, up here, down there, up here, down there, and up here. So let's see here. We gotta do a lot of cleanup there. Okay. And we'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit more, a little bit less up and down. Let's go ahead and look at it now. Okay, and let's clean up the rotate Y's here as well. Do a little bit less of that, and also even it out a little bit more. So we're not really, we're kind of favoring one side here over the other. And let's get the rotate Z's. Those are pretty darn even. Just probably gonna tone them down a bit more. Let's go and look at that now. And let's do a little bit less side to side here, and perhaps rotate on these hips as well. I think I'd like the shoulders to be a little, if anything's going to be over exaggerated, I'd rather have those than the hips for this walk. Feels a little better. Now let's see if we can't get some clavicle action going here. Let's go down, and back again. Okay, let's clean that up a lot more here too. A little off my game just since the recording broke, but it's always good to continue to work through stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I try and do these live here with you guys and not do too much editing at all, is so that you can see all the good and the bad, because I think that's important for people who are just starting out in animation to know that when you get computer problems or when you get a bug that you put in Maya or any of that kind of stuff, one thing that I have talked about here before, but it's been a while, is that when you're working on a shot and it's something that you want to do, you're creating your own problems and you have really no one to blame but yourself. So anything that's going wrong in your shot, if you've got something where it's spinning around 360 degrees and you really just wanted it to move about 4 or 5 degrees, it's a problem that you created. And it's not to say that you're bad or you're wrong, but you have to be able to assess and work through your own problems that you create in your own files and your own work. And it's especially for those just starting out a hard and tough principle to get used to. But it's a good one to learn, and don't worry, because everybody goes through that same stuff and we're all in this together, just learning and growing and developing. Maybe let's do a little bit out and in there, just to kind of offset what the clavicles are doing, or the shoulders are doing here, so we don't get so much bounce and everything in there. Let's go look at that now. this arm we haven't done that in, and this one we have, so this one feels a little bit smoother. And let's go and do that here as well. Just do a little bit out, a little bit in, 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 and bring it back. Okay, got some cleanup to do. So let's scale that back a little bit more. Even this out. Let's go look at it now. Maybe we'll end up getting rid of that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just delete all that. I know we just did it, but we can always undo this if we want to go back to it. But I feel like it was probably a little bit better before. Okay, and now if we just add a little bit of swing to these steps, maybe that one just, or to these arms, maybe that's what we need, just a little bit of movement here. Forward, back, and forward. It doesn't have to be a lot, but a little bit there. And again, let's do a little bit less of that. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and I think we'll go from like a lower, try and make him seem like a big, perilous creature. And let's go ahead and tilt his head down here. And we'll leave him point forward a little bit more as well. That looks a little better. Okay, again, let's scale back those hips a little bit more. And in turn, let's go ahead and scale this back as well. Let's see. I said, this is a little bit of an older rig, and it's kind of got some interesting choices with it. I think a good way to say. So definitely some. it's flicking out of there a little bit too quick, so I'll give it 2 more frames to get out of there. And it might just be too much overall, so let's just do a little bit here. Make 15 our new 21, and make 18 our new 30. Just so there's not as much curl in. I think we could probably do a little bit more on the middle curl, so I'll go ahead and kick that up a little bit more. So let's go and see that now. Just don't like how much out it is to begin with, so I think I'll just curl it a little bit more. So let's see here. And then we'll take the index curl and we'll go ahead and push that forward 2 frames. And I'll take the pinky curl and pull it back just 1 frame. That way we don't have all the fingers hitting at the same time. You know what, I think I am going to hold this a little more. So I'll take 17 and make that our 21. I'll take 19 and make that our 31. Just so it actually does a little bit of a hold here. Let's go and see it now. Might need to do a little bit more of that. So we'll go ahead and just crack those up a little bit more. let's look at the pinky curl on the toe, and let's delay that a frame here. Let's go and look at that now. That fits pretty good. Okay, and let's go ahead and just do a little bit of, I think this would be the let's see, rotate to drag that. Let's zero it out there. So let's look at that again. So do rotate down there, lift it up here, and flatten out there. And that way you'll have the kind of thumb here hit, then the index, and then the pinky. Give you a nice little successive flop down. That should feel pretty good. Okay, let's go save our file here. Finally, something that I kind of, the rest of it I don't know that I love, but it's working. So let's go and set that, set that, set that, set that, set that. Okay. Index curl down there, lift them up here, and then flip down there, lift them up here, and zero out. Okay. And let's take the pinky and we'll delay that a frame and give me a little, keep that little pinky up here. so much there. Kind of really is more of a neck rotate than a head rotate, but okay, let's see if we can still get a little bit of that in there. And I think we're going to have to neuter that almost completely out of existence, just so there's a hint of it here. Okay, let's go look at that now. Sticking from this side. Okay, let's see that now. Let's do a little bit of rotate Y here. There. Try and keep it focused forward, kind of a look. Where he's really like intent on looking at kind of this area. Okay, let's try and clean that up a little bit more. Let's go look at it now. Feels jerky for some reason. I wonder why that is. Okay, let's just delete everything we had here. Let's see if it's just better with us leaving it alone. Let's see here. Yeah. Fortunately, I think that's because of how it's interacting with that chest controller. I'd have to do a lot of polish in there. Which is definitely something that I think I would do if it was a shot for like a reel or something. But in these more quicker form ones, not something I'm going to worry about too much here. See if we can do maybe a little bit of rotating the ears or something just to loosen up that head still a little bit. Depending on a little bit of balance, maybe we'll delay the frame or something just to mix up the timing a little bit here as well. And then back to where we started again. So let's go and look at that now. Turn your curves off too, see how it looks there without that. Yeah, turn off the European those as well. Kind of feels like really only one of those ears is really going. So let's take a look at that and see why that is. And also, we didn't do a very good job of cleanup on that either. We're just laying it out very well. Let's go and clean that up a bit more. Okay, let's see that now. Maybe we could do a little mix. Do some rotate C here. Rotate C. Rotate C. Rotate C. Really kind of flopify these if we can. I don't know if flopify is a word, but it should be. I do know that I'm almost positive that nobody's ever used flopify. It's a fun word to say though. Flopify. Flopify. Okay. this, we can delete it. I feel like it was working alright without it, but I think if we could try to loosen up the movement a little bit more, it'll help. assign a new material to it. Put Lambert on there. And color it dark black here. And let's also kind of make it like it's a hallway. So let's push it back here. Scale it up a lot. And go back to the other camera we had. And we'll create another cube here. Raise that up. Copy it, paste another one on the other side. Make like a dark hallway here. Make it more ominous, more of a creepy shot here. Frame it up a little better. Let's go and see that now. And let's also rotate it inward a little bit more and scale it back and bring it down and rotate it inward a little bit more, push it back and okay, let's go ahead and look at that now. A little more, yeah, feels a little better. But let's go ahead and put a different material on here, just so it's not the same as the ground. Or maybe what we want to do is switch our camera here. And assign existing materials, put that other one here. We just want to change the shade here, so it's not the same as the ground. Maybe we want to grab all of these and come on, this one, and this one, and pull them back a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, let's go look at it. Okay. Make sure there was nothing moving on there. Yeah, it's way more ominous. Sometimes the setting for your shot's really, well, sometimes setting for your shot's always really important. Camera angle and all that stuff. Helps make your shot stronger. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look back at where we started. We were looking at Harold Foster, and he said, anyone who's pleased with their work will stop right there, because if you're satisfied, then you don't have to improve. So it's always important is to never be satisfied with your work. I mean, just looking at this shot alone, I can spend another probably a week getting in there and really polishing things, putting things on ones and twos, really getting into it, and probably fixing some of the layout stuff, adding more details in the background, tons of things that I could do different. But again, it's always good too to, just push yourself and try different things and give yourself time limits and time frames, because otherwise you might never get anything done either. But it's good to have that attitude. And then also, the human race has so much brains and so little intelligence. So as you're going through your day-to-day, try and keep this stuff in mind, to never be satisfied and never give up on your work. Don't say, it's okay to give yourself encouragement and to notice growth and stuff in your work, but never say, I'm at the level that I want to be at and that's it. I mean, once you hit that, what's the point of really studying something or growing anymore then? And also, as to the last one, I don't know that I have an answer for you or even too much beyond that, but just try to go beyond the scope of the things around you. Try to raise to the top of whatever medium you're using, and try and grab the things that are technological advances and don't use them as a hindrance to keep you from working and to distract you, but rather use them as tools to help elevate your work. So that being said, thanks for sticking with me throughout this one. You guys are awesome. I love you tons. And thanks for all the likes and comments. If you guys do end up using this rig to make an animation, definitely share it down below so I can give you encouragement and give you a thumbs up and tell you way to go. Or if you want critiques or suggestions for what you could do different in your shots too, let me know. And that goes for anything that you guys are working on creatively. Definitely share it down below so I can continue to give you encouragement and pat you on the back as you guys are going through your journeys of this creative world. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I love you lots, and we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.